trying to lose weight, but you're finding it tough, and you don't want to miss this. It's our phone in now. Anna Colton's a specialist in eating disorders, and she's going to take your calls. And thank you for doing this.
Hi.
Hello, Amber. Amber's
Hello.
on the phone. Hiya, what would you like to say, Amber?
I would just like some advice, really. That I've been thinking about whether to have a gastric band recently, mainly because my weight in eating has got out of control, and in a way, I've tried every diet, and I just want something else in a way to take that control back.
Can I ask what your weight is?
I'm 17 stone.
And you say that you are an emotional eater.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's linked to mood?
Yeah, it's linked to mood, and obviously some childhood things as well. But I can eat in secret because I don't want people to see what I'm eating or to feel bad. So I'm quite a bad secret eater.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really difficult, isn't it? Because food is the one thing, unlike cigarettes or drugs or alcohol, that we just can't live without. You know, you need food to live, and so you can't go cold turkey like you would with other addictions, and with other things you crave. And the causes of overeating are fundamentally emotional. You know, it numbs the pain, and it takes away that horrible feeling. And it's about whether you can go through the pain, whether you want to feel the pain and address those issues that will then help you not need food to be your friend and your get out.
Because if you have a gastric band, obviously that feels like it's the last resort, and that doesn't address the problems. So
it doesn't address the problems. And the other thing is that you can still eat through your gastric band. You can re-stretch it. So yes, there will be an initial weight loss. There's always an initial weight loss. But in the long term, whilst we hope that the weight loss will be maintained, without addressing the underlying issues that make people feel terrible about themselves and want to numb that pain, they can stretch their bands straight back again. Bands can pop off. And
if you have, in your experience, a weight issue, a major weight issue, if you look back far enough, is it most often that there will be some psychological issue that's tripped you the switch?
I would say always. There's always a psychological issue, because
you don't just
eat too much, because it's not eating that's based on hunger. When we overeat, when we eat more than our body wants, we don't feel hungry and we don't feel full. And not to feel full means we're eating for a reason other than hunger.
So what's the advice to Amber then? The gastric band, not a brilliant idea. You have to address the core issue of the problem.
The gastric band will help you, Amber, lose weight. It will. But you can't do it on its own. You'll need to address the reasons for overeating with specialist psychological help. And if you're going to a bariatric team, which is the team that does gastric banding and bypass and the surgery for weight loss, they should provide you with specialist psychological help to go alongside your band.
All right, Amber, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Amber.
Hello, Rose. Hi, Rose.
Hello.
Hi, what would you like to say?
What it is I've got a 16-year-old son who's overweight, and he's been overweight for quite a while. He's now 15 stone 9, and he's under the healthy weight clinic at our hospital as well. But the weight still doesn't seem to be coming off him as much or as quick as we'd like. That's causing quite a lot of arguments at home with me and my husband, with me and my mum, because I think he's eating things here that he shouldn't be eating. And I just need a bit of information of what else I can do to help him get to the point that he needs to get to.
Well, you're concerned about his health as well, because he's got high cholesterol, sleep apnea, so it is, and there's heart trouble in the family, so it is having an impact and could have even more serious impact.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Rose. Does he want help? Does he feel there's a problem?
No, he doesn't. He says he's happy the way he is, but he's not like the child he was a few years ago. Right. He's not as happy and bubbly and everything else, and we've put it down to sort of teenage hormones and things, but obviously, you know, there's that problem there that we think that it may be that's causing it, but he obviously is not ready to face it yet, I don't think.
So it is really, really difficult, because the main thing with eating and getting on top of eating is that someone has to want it. If they don't want it, it's a bit like the old, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can't, you can try everything to restrict his intake, to reduce his diet, to kind of have fresh veg and fruit easily accessible so that when he's hungry he can snack on that. But if he's not interested in reducing his weight, you've got a real challenge there. But also, is he involved in a lot of sport? Does he do extracurricular exercise or anything like that?
No, just the PE at school, which has now stopped because obviously they're doing GCSEs. He does bike up to his nan's quite a lot, which is sort of up a few hills, but nothing major because all his group of friends are more onto PlayStations and computer games, which we do try and get him off, but obviously that's the sort of age we're living in and doing all of that with the games and things, which is a bit of a nightmare, but yeah, I'm just sort of quite worried about him and, you know, even when he was younger, I mean, he was only 6'10" born, but on his chart, he literally just shot up, like, quite high. He never was on a stable, sort of on the chart that they have as babies.
Yeah.
He literally just went completely over the average line, and, you know, that's where he's sort of been always over average and things like that. So I don't know whether that's got anything to do with it or, you know, but some days he looks better than others.
Okay.
You know,
Let's see what the advice is.
So it may be that he is naturally slightly bigger than slightly smaller, but realistically, he needs to kind of, to reduce weight, you do need to exercise more and eat a little bit less.
It's very difficult. He's a teenager, and he won't acknowledge that there's a problem.
Well,
He's happy the way he is.
It is that not wanting to do anything about it that is so challenging. But even, you know, if there's fun exercise, if he likes trampolining, then, or if he likes kind of, I don't know, climbing walls, those things that don't feel like exercise.
I suppose that he cycles to his grandmother's.
Yeah, brilliant.
Maybe as a family they could go out, or you just get his friends off the computer and out on a bike. I don't know.
Yeah, even for an extra 10-15 minutes, everything will help. Or walking to school, or an extra bus stop if he wants to.
With so many similar questions, the trouble is that you do have to address it. It's not going to sort itself out usually on its own.
No, you do have to address it, and the problem is that, you know, being overweight leads to such a gamut of health problems that one thing leads to another, and makes it more difficult to get out, makes it more difficult to be motivated, makes you feel worse about yourself. So you really need to approach eating and weight from all angles: diet, exercise, psychological help. And it's about trying to get him to want that psychological help.
Thank you very much indeed.